Welcome everyone to Saturday, November the 16th. I love Saturdays. It's a beautiful day. Hopefully it's a beautiful day wherever you are. I'm Stacey Phillips, Senior Presidential Director, and I'm also with
April Vaughan, Senior Presidential Director, and we're thrilled to be here today hosting the Saturday Patching. Well, it's not the podcast, our Saturday training. So we're happy because Stacey and I are just straight right back from Punta Cana, and we had the best time ever. And we want to talk about that a little bit today, don't we, Stacey? Some all
Yes,
kinds of stuff.
so exciting. I am going to screen share just a little bit. And April, I'm assuming you're going to keep letting people in. Um,
Absolutely.
Let me and I'm gonna make someone else a co-host. She doesn't know it, but she just got
Sweet.
surprised. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and screen share, and because I want to share, when we were in Punta Cana, Geraldo shared, and if you don't know who Geraldo is, he is in corporate. He's in our corporate. He lives in Florida. Just a great gentleman. And if you haven't got a chance to get to know him, you should. So he shared these beautiful photos, and he said, when if we think of ourselves, as stars, so you go outside, you go, he went in his regular town, his regular city where he was, and he took a picture of the sky, and he said, you could see all these little stars, but he said it wasn't that spectacular. And sometimes you kind of have to go out away from the city lights and just keep going. And he kind of mirrored it with our business, with who we are as individuals. You know, when we if we just try to just go out, oh, that's where we're going to be, and just be in our own little area and taking a picture basically of that own little area, you may not see all the shining stars and that kind of stuff. But if you go out and you keep wondering, and he wandered for over an hour in a little country, because he wanted something spectacular. And this is what he found. And he said, it's like us. We're all stars. And when we come together, we can be a huge, beautiful view of something amazing. And so he showed this picture, and it's so spectacular. And it kind of goes in coincide with what David is calling this year is be the light. And we can stay in our little bubble, or we can come together and be something beautiful, and we can be the light. And when we go to these trips, we're sharing with people, and we're including people, and we're inviting people, and and they're wanting to build towards these trips and stuff like this. This is just getting the product out there. This is sharing, and then we get rewarded, and then we get to come together, and we get to be the light as a whole. And this is a picture of a bunch of us in Punta Cana. It was so fun. We walked out to the sand, and so we just want to kind of share our story before we go into the next incentive trip, because there was 800 of us there, actually a little over 800, and this was more than the company had expected. They had expected 300 to 400, and instead it was over 800. And they said, you know what? We're not going to just plan for 800 for the next trip. We're going to do 3 to 4 times more than that, because that's what we can earn, and it really is easy if we're just out there sharing. So April, share your experience of Punta Cana.
Oh my goodness. It was just, it's one of many trips I've been on with LifeWave, and like I never could, before LifeWave, I couldn't afford to travel like this in my life. I've never had the opportunity to take my children on trips and just be able to have it paid for, have these beautiful resorts all over the world. It's just been absolutely life changing because I love to travel. I've always wanted this kind of thing for my life and for my family, and to be there with friends. I mean, it was so much fun to land, have someone pick you up, take you straight to this all inclusive resort. And then you walk into your room, it's absolutely beautiful. And then so much fun to be able to just, as you're walking around, every third or fourth person you see, from LifeWave, whether it's anyone in the Evolve team or the other teams throughout, and just lots of hugs and laughs and fun. It was just, I don't know, it was like a giant family reunion. Don't you think, Stacey?
It was. It was.
It was we had great weather, just a little bit of rain, but we had so much fun just in all the restaurants. There were so many choices. I mean, you could have stayed there a long time. There was so much to do. It was really like this particular resort was like being on a cruise ship, but like you were on land because you had this long corridor of all these restaurants and escape rooms and you could do so many different things, shops and absolutely just giant casino, which I didn't ever do that, but there was just so many choices. And then the beach was right there too. We had the beach and oh my goodness, I just can't. We want you to be on the next one too, so we're going to go over that in a little bit. But it was wonderful being there with team. I don't even know. Would never want to miss another trip for sure. After just how much fun and how many, you get to know people face to face that you've met on Zooms or we've just only met online. So it was the best ever.
Yes. And I know some of you on this call was in Punta Cana. And if you don't mind raising your hand, we want a few of you to share your experience at Punta Cana because we want to we want all of us to be there next trip. We want, and we want to excite people. And so please, we want to hear what you have to share and share a tip. So David, go ahead. David Delavani, go ahead.
I just want to say the most important thing to me, the biggest part of it was you had time because you had 5 days there and you had time to sit for an hour if you wanted to and talk with an upline or a crossline or someone and just get to know each other and minister to people. And it was and that kind of time is just precious. And I think that is what's going to accelerate our businesses. So I'm encouraging everyone to try to get to Punta Mita because those precious moments with your upline sitting there for an hour, and whether it's strategizing or just getting to know each other from a spiritual standpoint, from the inside, it's more powerful than you can ever imagine. So I'm just encouraging everyone to do their best to get to Punta Mita.
Thank you, David. Patty.
Hey, y'all. My husband Gino and I were there. What an amazing trip we had. Seems that everybody wanted to hear our story. My husband has an amazing story. So now he's all over Facebook with all the people that were recording his testimonial and meeting people from all over the country and all over this part of the world was amazing. We spent a lot of time in the pool at the Swim Up Tiki Bar. Was pretty amazing. Hector is a pretty good bartender. I'm just saying. We had a great time. The weather was kind of, a little rainy and stuff, but didn't stop any of us. We had a great time. We did a tour of Old Town Santo Domingo, which was amazing to go see Christopher Columbus's house and then to just connect with so many people all over the place. We were talking to a guy from Brazil and we don't speak Spanish and he didn't speak English and his friend was from Japan and somehow we managed to have a conversation between the three of us, which was very cool. So we can't wait to earn this trip to Punta Mita. It's just amazing. Best time ever.
Yay. Gail.
Well, everybody said everything that it was amazing, absolutely amazing trip. I have to say that we have the best people in Evolve. They're amazing. They're warm. The one thing is there's nobody's above anybody else. And you know what? You don't see that very often. And having everybody be part of God, it was really good for me. And I just loved them all. Dr. Stacey and April, they're just wonderful. And when you're with a group of people and you don't feel like somebody's above you, it makes it even more, just more warm. And yes, we all need to be at the next trip. It's manageable, it's doable, I should say. And I look forward to going with all of you. So thank you, everybody, for being who you are.
And Gail, can you, if I can just say this, Gail, Gail had I believe, 30 more points, and she was down to the wire, and she was able to, because she was committed. She wanted to go to Punta Cana, and she started reaching out right at the end, and she's like, "No, I'm going for it." Would you mind sharing just a little bit about, some tips of the
What I did.
yes, yes.
So it was 10 days before the deadline, and two people in my downline were going, and I'm like, oh no, this isn't going to happen. I got to be there, at least earn it, right? And so I just contacted everybody that in the year and 4 months that I had been working, and talking to. And I just told them, I'm trying to earn this trip, and I know you've been wanting to try this. Now's the time. And I offered them 10 days worth of patches of what they wanted to try. That was something I wanted to do. I upgraded people. I just told everybody, now's the time to upgrade, which was a benefit for all of us because we were changing the packaging, the packages. And so I just worked, and I made it. So it was fun. I brought my husband, and we've been married 45 years. And what a great anniversary gift to the both of us. So thank you very much for letting me share my story.
Thank you, Gail. Amy.
Okay, hey guys, sorry I'm not on video. I'm driving, but yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect. Number one, I'd never been to the Caribbean, had never been to an all-inclusive resort, have not, I've always traveled with my kids, so this is the first time in, probably at least two, I don't know, like 15 years that I hadn't traveled by myself, like out of the state. So anyway, so I went there, wasn't sure what to expect. And I will tell you, like, it had, God's hand all over it. The connections, like, Gail and Dave, and, hanging out with Stacey, you and April Vaughan, and, just so many high level leaders, just being able to bond and have that one-on-one time, get to know people. It just really filled my cup. It energized me. I came out of it with so many tips on running my business and, getting to where I need to be this next year. And anyone can do this. Anybody can push and get on these trips, and it's so well worth it. Like I said, my cup is full. I've got lifelong friends that I've met in person, and it was amazing. So I'm so grateful to LifeWave. Thankful for all the people in my path and the people that I haven't met yet, and it's so amazing. So you guys have to get to the next one for sure.
Thank you. Okay, we got a couple more people, and then we're gonna share how do we go to Punta Mita. So Lisa, go ahead, pop on.
Hi, friends. I went to Punta Mita, and I am still speechless. I really don't have words. It's like I want to cry out of just, I never imagined them taking the time to make it just so beautiful and relaxing. And every day you felt so spoiled. Like it's kind of like it got to be almost too much, even at the end, they gave us presents and gave us parties, and it wasn't a work event. It was like my mom has done MLM and I never have. And she said, oh, this is a thank you party. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So then I went with no expectation, and I was blown away. I mean, every day, every detail, where they placed us. Like she said, when you walk down the hallway, you were surrounded by friends at a resort that held 1,700 people, that everywhere you went, there was this kind face of a LifeWave person. Even when I walked down the hall before you all arrived, a woman grabbed me and she said, are you with LifeWave? Can you help me? And it's just a look, I think, of everybody that you see with LifeWave. People, the workers told me after you all left, I was there, saying goodbye as the buses were pulling away. And he said, what is this company? Everybody looks so young and healthy and vibrant, and they're so kind. Like, what is this patch? And it just was, I had a love and respect for the company that I've been serving with you guys since May. But now I'm like, I just don't have words. Meaning just the integrity of the company and the people and the kindness and the community. It just blew my mind and filled my soul. And I just was super grateful. I think if there's ever an opportunity to go on any trip and you can go, because it will be so much more than the trip itself. It'll be a community of friendship that will last a lifetime. And I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Lisa. And I love that you shared that you've been in the business since May. And because, a lot of times people think, oh, you have to be here so long and you have to, all these things. And I love, that's what we kept hearing throughout the whole place is we'd meet people and they'd say, oh, I just started about 6 months ago, or I'm a manager, I'm a director, or, and it was so exciting to hear that. So thank you for sharing that.
Thank you guys for loving so well. It's just a beautiful community. Thank you.
Chap, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the water was so blue in the ocean. The sand was so soft and white. It's a lot different than Galveston, if you've ever been to Galveston. And it was just wonderful. The food there was wonderful. The people were wonderful. I mean, and not just the Lifeway people, meeting other people at the resort, just other patrons that were there. We got to know a lot of other people from all over the country, all over the United States that we had never met before, just living in Houston. And so it was great to meet them. And it was great to meet cross-line people like April Vaughan and even people on other teams and seeing how they do their business. I mean, it was really a great trip. So you've got to get to Punta Mita. Punta Cana was awesome. I don't know how they can beat it with Punta Mita, but somehow they will. And so we're just real jacked and fired up to make it to Punta Mita. Thank you.
We'll hear from Trina and then Diana and Diane, and then we'll move on. Go ahead, Trina.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that, I mean, they treated us, just Lifeway just treated us like royalties. I mean, with the gifts and the excursions. And I had the opportunity to go with my mom. We're both brand partners. And so the two of us getting to have those memories and being able to experience that together was just unbelievable. So we're just I mean, even going into the spa and just the parties. I mean, they do it up so amazing. So LifeWave is just amazing. Just love the company and just excited to be a part of something that is so advanced and built in unity like this.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank
Diane.
you.
So, first of all, I got to meet Trina and her mom, Diane, at the airport coming home from Houston, Dallas, when we discovered we were all going to go to Punta Cana together. So that was really fun. And seeing them, even though we didn't spend a lot of time together, and just even being with you, Stacey, I mean, you're so gracious, you're so nice. And I think that was, I mean, everybody was, and everybody's so friendly. And getting time actually to meet people even from other teams, like somebody else said, even some SPDs, an SPD from another team who gave us some pointers, which, you know, that's pretty cool to think that there are different teams within Lifeway, but everybody's willing to share and help each other for the greater good. And I think that's the part that's so inspiring. And yes, it does make you want to go to try and earn those trips, because it's really fun to have stuff paid for, I have to say.
Chelsea, is that your speaker?
So anyway, it was fabulous, and we should all try and get to the next ones as best we can.
Yes, it is. Well, and that's so true, Diane. It is great to just to be together and hear things and get to share and even for us getting together and hearing all these little tips, you're always hearing people talk about, oh, this is what we did, and oh, and these are contests, and these are ideas, and so thank you everyone that shared. And now we want to dive into Punta Mita. I have a quick video to share, and then April's going to talk more about how we get to Punta Mita.
Yes.
There we go. And I will pull up.
Isn't that beautiful? I've never been to that side of Mexico before. I've only been to Tulum, which was another LifeWave trip, which was absolutely amazing. Was a lot of us, some of us on here might have been to that one like a year ago, 2 years ago. That was so much fun too. It was a beautiful place.
It was.
So this will be a new adventure for everyone to try to go to Punta Mita. So I looked it up also, and Stacey's going to pull up some information now, but we don't know exactly which resort. They're not telling us yet. They're letting it be a big surprise, but it's going to be right there in that area. So there's only a few all-inclusive resorts right there. But I know Martha Leverett on our team, she's an SPD, and she said, "Oh my goodness, this area is beautiful. It is first." She said, even though Punta Cana, the resort there, the Hard Rock was amazing. She said she's been to several of the different resorts there and Punta Mita, and she said, April, they're all amazing. They're first class all the way. She said even way nicer than what we just went when we got home from Punta Cana. So we're so excited to see what they've got in store for us next. So it's going to be well worth the effort to work over these next 14 weeks to earn this next incentive trip.
And we put up all 3 incentive trips because some of you guys have teams in the other regions. And
Stacey, it's not. It may be my screen. It's not showing it. I'm still seeing that last of the video part. Let's try.
sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. See if you see if.
And now let me sign again. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Yes. So she's going to pull up the what Stacey's pulling up right now is from an email that we all received on October the 20th. So you all have this information in your inbox. So just type in recap in your inbox and you should come straight to this email that came to you on October the 20th. And it's got all this information. There's lots of stuff in that one they shared, but it was a recap as we were leaving from the conference. So that one was loaded up with information. So look at that. And then like Stacey was saying too, we don't know the dates of it, but what I read, it said it's going to be at the end of April. So it said and we don't know the resort again, still we don't know about that. But here's the way that we're going to earn this. It's going to be just wonderful. So how can we earn this trip? So the qualification started on October 21st and through the 23rd. So February the 23rd, we have to earn this. And it says travel to Punta Mita, but I think they said they've changed that. I think it says Geraldo and Garrett said it's going to be maybe another week or 2 later. We can't, but hopefully they'll let us know the date. So those of you that work and need to put it in, and just for other reasons, we need to know the dates. So those are the times that we're going to go. But from right now, we have starting with Monday, a Sunday morning, we have 14 weeks to earn this next trip. And so the way we can do it is right what Stacey's got here on the screen on this tracker that's going to be wonderful. So you may all want to get this printed out so you can track your way to success to earn this. So earn points by doing the following. Personally sponsored brand partners. For that, a core, you get 2 points. For the new advanced pack, you get 4, and the premium 8. So 2, 4, or 8 for a personally sponsored new brand partner. Then for personally sponsored brand partner upgrades, isn't that great that they include that as well? So an upgrade to a core, 2 points. Upgrade to the advanced pack, 4 points. Upgrade to the premium pack, 8 points. And then personal rank advancement. So if you personally rank up to manager, you're going to get 10 points for that. If you rank up to director, 15 points. Senior director, 20 points. Executive, 30. Presidential director, 40. And SPD, senior presidential director, that'll be 50 points if you personally do this yourself. And you know, those are also, they add on top of each other, because we had some people for this last trip and others, maybe you just get started and you're really just taking off. So those are, they layer on some. You could maybe hit manager, director, and senior, because you have 14 weeks, you guys. That's a long time if you chart your way to success. The other way is personal enrollments who rank advanced. So if you personally enroll someone, that's why they pay us to help each other. So if you help someone that you personally enroll to go manager, you're going to get 5 points for that. And director, you're going to get 7 points if you help someone you personally enroll go director. Same as senior director, you're going to get 10 points for that. Executive director, 15 points. Presidential, 20 points. And senior presidential director, 25 points. So you can just imagine if you're just getting started in your business, just look at all the points, just add those up, the what ifs, and that's at your goal. Because if you get started to go manager, then to have 2 managers, one on your left, one on your right, that gets you to director, but it also gets them to manager. And over this 14 weeks, if you go senior and they go director, look at all the points you're getting. That's why they're giving you this chart to track your way to success. And then the other way is going to be rank maintenance of lifetime. So lifetime rank. So if you, every week when it says you maintained your rank, you're going to get a point for that. So manager, director, and senior director, you're going to get 1 point each week. And then executive, presidential, or SPD, you're going to get 2 points each week. So, you know, keeping your rank for each of us is really important. That's why you would have managers keep their 2 left and 2 right, at least, you know, so they stay manager, so that you stay director, so the next person stays senior, because we're all working together as a team and continuing to share. The other way is to person enroll preferred customers. So we get 1 point for each of those, whether a PC or a PC plus, there'll be 1 point that we'll earn for that also. And so all brand partners who achieve 140 points are going to earn 2 trips and 2 airline tickets. And 100 points is going to be 2 trips and 1 airline ticket. And the refund on the airline ticket, I believe it was $450. So there's that. Did I leave anything out, Stacey? Is that all covered, all that?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
Okay.
Things.
Oh, look at that. So that's the whole, is that that? Oh, look at that's beautiful. Oh
Yes,
my,
Punta, Mita.
that is beautiful. So you know what? One of the things that's going to help us get there is every day, you know, doing income producing activities. I know Stacey and I, the others that shared on the call, there was like 5, how many were there? Including the guest. This is the largest incentive trip we've ever had, LifeWave's ever had in the history of LifeWave. It was huge. We had 800, I think Garrett told me, 840 people there. I mean, that was huge when you add the, you know, the guests plus the one that earned the trip. That was a big, big group to take to the Dominican Republic, to another country. That was a big, big deal. And they pulled it off just beautifully. Don't you think everything was perfect? No, I didn't hear nothing. It just went perfectly. So we want you to do, so when you're tracking your way to success using that tracker, break that down and think, what can I do each and every day to break this down? Do it's calls, it's Zooms, using your upline, get on 3-way calls, 3-way chat, 3-way Zooms, do patch parties. Anything that you can. Right now is a great time to be doing events, because every town has got craft fairs, local things, health fairs, all kinds of stuff now too, even to that time, but especially in November and December, there's so many things that you can set up a small table, have an event. all kinds of prices, for all kinds of things. You can say all the way from $20 from some churches I know that let you come in and set up if they're fall festivals and all kinds of different things. But getting your name out there and being in the community, going through the phone, make your list. Marcy preaches that all the time too. We have to make our list. I'm always looking through my phone and think, I've never told her about LifeWave. I've never shared the patches with her. So just constantly be adding to your list, because the charts is how you're going to track your way to success also, to get yourself to manager, then to director. But every one of those circles is a person. It's another person that you have helped change their health. So
Yeah,
that's
and
what
I
I would
would
do.
go ahead and map it out. If you haven't even started at all, don't worry, it's not too late. 10 points a week for the next 14 weeks is 140 points. That would be two people, 2 plane tickets. And what you can do is map it out and say, okay, I'm a manager. If I hold my manager rank, I get 1 point for the next 14 weeks. That's 14 points. Or and I'm trying to go to director. Well, I'm going to help 2 people, plus I'm going to become a director. What points does that look at? Map out those points now and project what you can see just by the work you're doing to get there, and then figure out, okay, now I got to fill in the holes. Okay, now I got to make sure I reach out and upgrade these people. Because, if you have somebody that you brought in as silver or advanced, or whichever, the old packages or the new packages, whichever one, talk to them about upgrading. It's a win-win. You get a point, you get a little bit of extra right now money, and they get patches for free. Show them what a benefit they're going to receive by upgrading. A lot of people love to upgrade. They don't even realize they can upgrade. So don't hesitate to share that information, to call on these people. Just like Gail said, she called them and said, hey, I'm trying to earn a trip. And, and I can see that you need to upgrade. This will be the benefit for upgrading. This will be the cost. And most people are very happy because they're getting a benefit of free patches. And you can even individually decide to throw in a little incentive if you want, in order to help that person upgrade or move to that next level. And just keep working with your team and helping them create managers, and help them create managers. And in that process, you'll go manager, director, senior director. And we used to actually call it 90 days to senior director. They changed the name of it, but you can still do 90 days to senior director, and you have the time to be able to do that.
You're right, Stacey, because we've got 14 weeks. So you've got a long time. Not even counting 14 weeks starts on Sunday. So we still have 14 entire weeks to get there. And so the other thing I love about this is they also announced, on that same email where you find the recap, you'll find something else that's so exciting, because this is for the US, Mexico, and Canada. So that's well, some of you might be from other countries, but for most of us on here, we live in one of those areas. But we also have team members in other parts of the world. So for the MEMA, their incentive trip is going to be to, theirs is Croatia. And for those of us that were on the Greece cruise, that was actually my favorite place we visited. It was beautiful. It was more like, for me, than Mykonos and Athens and all those. I love Croatia because it was so green and lush, and the trees. It wasn't like desertish. It was absolutely beautiful, and the people there were just amazing. I love Croatia. So that's the other incentive trip that's coming up next year. If you have team members in the other countries, Croatia, and the other is Bali. So all the details that you want to, maybe you have team members in those other areas, make sure you share with them so they can track their success to earn those trips also. Because and Sontag had a daughter in Scotland, and she won one of these incentive trips, didn't she, Stacey? Where was it she got to go to? And she was blown away by that beautiful trip.
Greece. She got to go to Greece that year.
Amazing trip that she could have, it was expensive to go there and plan it, and she was just blown away that she had gone director, senior director, I can't remember, but in the other countries, it's amazing to earn these trips. So I would love to go to Bali, and I would love to go back to Croatia. So look at those. Go back to the email and see if that's something that you can share with other people.
Yeah, and if you don't know where the email is, if you sign into your back office and go under resources and go into incentives, or um, I, I don't think it's the word incentives, but it's under specials or promotions. That's what it is. Promotions. You can actually find the whole rules step by step of everything, and make sure you go in and read that so you can understand it. And that tracker, the reason we put the trackers out there too, is because I know the company keeps track, but it's also very, very valuable. And this is just a really high recommendation, is every time you earn a point, write down how you earned that point, what date you earned that point, and keep track. Because that way, if the company ever, the computer messes up, or you know where you are, and you're not depending on a computer to tell you where you are. You always know where you are. It's a good recommendation. That way, if you ever go, this is where the point, you always know where it came from. And so keep track individually of your points and how many you are. And then that way, towards the end, you know where okay, I need a few here, or I need a few here, and where do I do to go about getting that?
Right, you're right, Stacey. Because in the end, a lot of people were working so hard. Well, I don't know if I'm going to earn. I was like, well, let's break it down. Let's look at your chart. Let's look at your chart. Let's go into your back office. Let's go look at your personally enrolled team. And we go look at their personally enrolled team. I'm like, well, oh my goodness, look at these upgrades you can do. Let's call her and talk about upgrading her to the core, to the advanced, or different ones. And I said, well, that gives you 2 points. Or so we went to help your team break it down. Go into their back office with them, show them their personal enrolled team, because that could be upgrades. Also look at someone that's really close to manager, someone that's really close to director, because if you personally enrolled them, you're going to get points for that, and then so are they. So I love that this whole incentive trip is all revolved around sharing and helping and reaching down and helping others. Don't you think, Stacey? It's all about, if you're helping someone else, you're going to achieve it just because you're helping everyone else.
Yes, exactly. And there is a few questions in the chat. Where is the tracker found? After we get off this call, we'll make sure we put it in the Team Evolve chat room, and that way you can get a hold of that. And if you don't, or you're not in the Team Evolve chat room, reach out to your SPD, and I guarantee you they can have access, because they would know me or April to be able to get that from one of us. But it will be in the Team Evolve chat room. And then, how do you check your progress on the website? Well, it's not up yet, but honestly, I would keep track yourself. It's just, we've seen it where people think they're there, and then come to find out they're a few points behind because maybe the system duplicated or something like this. And it's always better for you to keep track of your own points, even when the system comes up. And I was just trying to see, I thought there was a couple more.
Also, having it written down, like you said, writing it down, there's so much intention to that. Like when your goals are written down, you're tracking it. There's a lot of excitement there instead of leaving it to the out there. If you write it down, I mean, I saw mine, and me and Grace were looking at mine. I was looking at hers. We were so excited, and maybe I was like, oh my gosh, she's like, Mom, you only need 2 more points to earn this trip. And I was like, oh my goodness. So that's exactly what I did. I was looking in my back office, looking, who can I upgrade? Who can upgrade in just each of those points? And then I just needed 2 points to earn the trip. And I was like, so if you're not tracking that, you could be really close and not even realize it, and maybe miss something big, miss something really, really big. But if you're a little ways off, let your upline reach up, up, up. Somebody up there wants to help you earn this. So just reach up to whoever your upline is, SPD, director, whatever, because we want to make sure that you're there, because this is going to be another amazing, amazing experience.
Yes, it is always best to share and be, accountable with somebody. Say, this is what I'm going for. Just like Jack taught us at convention, he said, share your goals, share your plans, talk about what date you want to hit it by, and share with someone. That way you're accountable. Share it on Facebook. I'm going to Punta Mita in April with my company. Put it out there, call it forth. Pre-plan it and work with someone, and together it can be accomplished. It can.
You're right, Stacey. I love the part about accountability partners, because that keeps you accountable so that you don't get down because you know what, when you get a no, sometimes that can be so deflating, but don't worry about that because they just, no means maybe not right now. Maybe I'm busy right now. Maybe no doesn't mean no forever because, you know, we've been in the business quite a few years now, and we know that almost everyone that I reached out to somewhere over the past few years has then come back. Something's changed in their life, their work, their health, something has changed, and now they're interested. Hey, April, tell me about those patches you told me about 2 years ago or 8 months ago, or you know, you were set up that event, and now you keep reaching out to me and sending me information, but now I'm ready to hear more because for whatever's changed in their life. So yes, so don't give up on people because you never know when they're ready.
Perfect. I believe that's all we have for today, and we're excited about Punta Mita coming. If you do want to look for the email, it's October the 20th email. Otherwise, you can look in the resources. But it was wonderful to be here today with you guys, and we look forward to seeing you all. I screenshot everybody's name, so I know everybody's going to be there. I'm going to check it off. No, I'm just teasing. But I look forward to seeing us all in Punta Mita together, celebrating this company and just enjoying life and helping people set their health and wealth and life free.
Absolutely. Have a great Saturday, you guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye bye.
Thank